talked to Ezra Levant. We discussed Tommy, and he's in solitary confinement in a maximum security prison in the UK. And he's not allowed any visitors who have a social media following, whatever that means, given that virtually everybody has at least some social media following now. And this essentially means that he'll spend 9 months in solitary for what's a civil offense. And it's been 4, and that's a long time. And his guest slots aren't filled, partly because of these restrictions. I asked Ezra, too, if Tommy was in solitary at his own request, because the prison is a dangerous place, because it's a maximum security prison, and it's full of the sort of people who might not approve of Tommy Robinson, let's put it that way. And Ezra told me that Tommy hadn't requested to be isolated in this manner, that he was willing to take his chances in the general population. So that's what I know about that. In any case, he's got 5 more months in solitary, 22 hours a day. When I interviewed him, he'd expressed some real concerns about his ability to maintain his psychological integrity under such conditions. You know, we use solitary confinement as a punishment sufficiently brutal to deter even psychopaths who are about as non-social as you can possibly imagine. And so depriving people of social contact is, I think it's cruel and unusual punishment, and is something that perhaps should never be used, but if it's used, should be used, let's say, very judiciously. And I think that he's being subjected to cruel and unusual punishment. And if that produces fatal consequences, which is a possibility, that doesn't bode well for the general stability of the UK, you might say. And it's not a risk that should be taken. And so I want to draw everyone's attention to the plight of Tommy Robinson, regardless of what you think of him and what he's done, say, as a whistleblower on the gang side. His punishment is exceptionally heavy-handed, and it isn't at all obvious to me that it's wise. It's also not obvious to me that he'll make it through 9 months of this intact. And Ezra was concerned for the same reasons. So that's that.